Sai Ram. Prayerful salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba Varu. Respected Director, Professor Sundareshan, Speaker for today's moral class, Brigadier Dr. Rajneesh Talwar, esteemed colleagues, and my dear students, Sai Ram and welcome to each one of you. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the guest speaker for today's moral class session, Brigadier Dr. Rajneesh Talwar, Additional Director, Fortis Hospital, Mohali. Dr. Rajneesh did his schooling from Punjab, various places of Punjab, and finally completed his matriculation from Patiala. Then he went on to do his MBBS and MS in general surgery from Dayanand Medical College, Ludhiana, Punjab. He completed his formal training in medicine in the year 1986 and thereafter joined the Indian Army. He served as a distinguished officer in the Armed Forces Medical Services, which he served for 3 decades and more, serving in several positions and in several places across the country. As a young surgeon, he developed interest in the field of oncology, that is to do with cancer. He therefore decided to do a super specialization, and he underwent a 2-year certificate program from the Tata Memorial Hospital, Mumbai, between the years 1996 and 1998. Thereafter, he continued in the army, serving in various parts of the country. In the year 2012, he was appointed as Professor and Head of Surgical Oncology at the prestigious Army Research and Referral Hospital, New Delhi. He served there for about 5 years before retiring as a brigadier. I now wish to say a few words about Dr. Rajneesh Talwar's professional achievements and his expertise. He is considered to be one of the finest and most skillful surgeons in the country, especially in the field of surgical oncology, that is cancer surgery, cancer-related surgery, not only in our country, but even abroad. His videos on surgery, which are available on YouTube, are watched by thousands and thousands of young and budding surgeons all across the world to get to know the nuances, to understand the finer aspects of surgery. His expertise includes surgeries pertaining to malignancies of the head, neck, thorax, breast, gastrointestinal, that is the alimentary canal, and the urinogenital regions. Today, he is with us to share his experiences that he has had with Bhagwan. I think it all started off somewhere when he was a teenager in the year 1978. And Bhagwan has his own timing. He observed and witnessed Vibhuti materializing from Bhagwan's photo. He looked at it, and that's it. It took some time for him to be drawn and to be embraced in the fold. As I said, Bhagwan has his timing. He does it the way that he wants to, and he does it because he knows what is the best that is for us. So with these few words, I would now request Dr. Rajneesh Talwar to take over and share his experiences with Bhagwan. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Respected faculty and my very, very dear students, I thank Dr. Ashok for the introduction. I was asked about sharing about my biography, about my past, about my social life, my material growth. But I refrained from it, and I thank Dr. Ashok for having dug it out and spoken all that which he did. Yes, but I am today here. I think I've been allotted 30 minutes, but time is a snapshot in the momentous reality. So these 30 minutes are open-ended. It never begins, it never ends. So it's a momentary relationship which will form a momentous togetherness forever, unending. I will share with you how my relationship with Swami began and what happened thereafter. Whatever has happened before meeting Swami has been talked about by Dr. Ashok. And actually after meeting Swami, there was a 92. After seeing Swami. Seeing Swami is meeting Swami. Not just his form, but we say darshans. Darshan is a very profound word. Darshan means philosophy, entire philosophy of life. Darshan Shastra. So seeing Swami in a physical form kind of transformed me, brought me to a standstill. And if I may share with you what happened after meeting Swami. Actually, nothing happened after that. Whatever happened was happening before seeing Swami. I will recall my first view, darshans of Swami. It was 92. I came here as an explorer to Puttaparthi. I saw Swami and I developed within me, I was told by friends around that I can ask anything and that will be granted during the darshan sessions. So I also started talking to myself, what should I ask for? Let's assume that it will be granted. I didn't know that it will be granted. I said, let's assume that it will be granted. So various things came to my mind, beginning from, why not ask for a precious car like a BMW? Or why not a big house? Or why not super speciality? At that time I was a surgeon. So why not ask for cancer surgery, which I was very keen to do. But by the time Swami came to me, in 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, I saw him in front of me and he had one look at me, a momentary 1 second look into my eyes, and I found myself asking in this one sentence, if you are God, give me peace. And the miracle happened, the highest, greatest miracle of life, that peace dawned upon me forever. Eternal peace. I was as if transported to the cloud 9, as if transported to the Brahmaloka, to the Mount Everest. And my feet wouldn't touch the ground. I was floating in the air as if. And I felt a bliss, an inner calm which I had never experienced till that time. I was 30, 31 at that time. And thereafter, 30 years have passed, but it appears that I'm in the same state. I soon realized, and Swami made me to realize, that what you have asked for, what you called peace, is truly me. You've asked me from me. And so be it. If you truly need me, I am actually ready to come to you. I have been so ready to come to you for millions of years, and so that I have had to take a form now. And in this form, you've come and asked me for me. So I come to you. And thereafter, Swami started living with me as Shanti, as Prashanti. And I can't live without him for a second. I die any second and every second when I dissociate with him. He lives with me as peace. You see, especially to my dear young students, I was also about that same age which you people are when I came here. I knew nothing about spirituality. Actually, I had no brush with much of religion also. And most of us are like that at that age. Rare are a few of us who've been groomed into Swami's fold from the childhood. So I didn't have that privilege. So at the age of 30 when I came, this was a very new experience to me. And I think it was an experience of my past births, where I might have been seeking this ultimate goal of life for many, many lives. And this birth, it was destined that I am face to face with Parabrahman himself in a form. Swami is Parabrahman himself, is the highest God himself in a form. Yes, Jesus is him only, Nanak is him only, Krishna is him only, Sri Ram is him only. So I would be sharing, particularly with my young dear students, that whatever we're talking is trying to put spirituality in words. Actually, spirituality cannot be put in words, neither can it be understood. Spirituality is an experience. An experience of peace is an experience. It cannot be put in words. So what does Swami do? Swami in his form has come to show us the path also, as well as the goal. The goal is spirituality. The goal is Vedanta, the end of all seeking. Vedanta means the end of all seeking. But the path is Vidya. Path is seeking. When you seek, then you reach the end of seeking. So Vedas lead you to Vedanta. And in Swami's words, morality leads to immortality. What is morality? Morality is Vidya. Morality can be understood. Morality can be talked about. Immortality cannot be talked about. Immortality or moksha, you can't really define it. It's an experience. I'll share with you in a short while my experience of immortality also. If I forget it, I'm going to close down 5-10 minutes before the allotted time so that you can remind me, because that was an experience of death. I recently had 3 months back, experience of death, medical death. Well, so morality can be talked about. And whole of Vedas, infinite they are, is all about morality. And Swami says morality is going to lead to immortality, or he also puts it as morality is immortality. Because once I asked Swami, you see, my relationship with Swami has been, each one of us has had peculiar relationships with Swami, peculiar, singularly our own. Each one of us chosen ones. So my relationship with Swami was purely spiritual. I used to sit in front of him physically, but from the day one when I saw him, he started talking to me heart to heart. Not by the words from the mouth, but heart to heart. So my relationship with him has been ever spiritual. I used to sit in front of him and he used to start talking to me in my heart. And that was so real. Each time I used to hunger, thirst for an interview. And every gesture of his would tell me one of the two things, interview or interview. And I would say both, and he would smile and say, one of the two. Ask for interview, I'll give it to you. Ask for interview, I'll give that to you. But not both, he told me. Many of us are perhaps much more privileged than me, that they've had innumerable interviews and interviews also. But to me, he groomed me like that he said either interview or interview. And I was helplessly left to choose interview, and that was also his prompting. The interview is going to be momentous, it's going to be eternal. Interview is going to have a beginning and an end. Be it 5 minutes or be it half an hour. It'll begin and it'll end. And leave memories, pleasant both as well as unpleasant. Unpleasant because it is ended. Pleasant because it was bliss for that while. But interview means it'll always stay. It'll never dampen. It'll never change. So when he always told me inner or inter, I had to choose inner view. So, in one of these inner views, when I was sitting in front of him, he also shared with me that the whole of Vedas can be summed into what we all know, because that was Swami's favorite prescription. And he put it in these words, Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. So I started focusing on this aspect of morality, which was in itself also infinite. To try and understand what is Satya and what is Dharma. All the Shastras, scriptures have been kind of talking about these 5 aspects only. So this Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa also are infinite. Where to begin, how to catch them, how to internalize them. So he told me, you've already asked for peace, isn't it? So out of the 5, Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, catch only one, and the rest 4 will dawn upon you. Yes, that's been my experience of morality and immortality. Let me elaborate. I held on to that Shanti Swarupa, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I held on to Shanti. I never divorced. Shanti Patni, as Swami says. I never divorced Shanti. I never allowed myself to separate from Shanti even for a second ever. Till date, 30 years have passed. So I stay with Swami all the time. I stay in Shanti all the time. And Satya is my experience now. Satya means eternal reality. Dharma, only one dharma of man. We call dharma is righteousness, but only one dharma of man, and that is to stay connected to God, to our own eternal reality. So dharma was also looked after. Satya, Dharma, Shanti was already, Swami was already with me. Prema, you become full of love. You have fragrance of love around you. If you're ever at peace, you're always in love. And ahimsa is natural. How can you cause any violence to anything or anyone if you're ever established in love? So that was morality for me. And morality is immortality. Not only that morality leads to immortality, but morality was then experienced by me as immortality. So I was very happy when I was told by Professor Sundaresan that the talks which we have today, we are having, has been titled as Talks on Morality. Yes, Swami never teaches immortality. He doesn't talk about spirituality. He's spirit embodied. He talks about the path. He talks about reality, and we start experiencing immortality. Now, what is required by all of us younger seekers? What is required by us? I share with you, one of my very close friends had sent a message to me today asking me in these many 4 or 5 sentences that how is it possible to love all and serve all? You see, we keep saying love all, serve all, but somebody asked me, serious thinker asked me, that is it truly possible to love all, serve all? I don't think it's possible, because there are so many people whom I can't love, and then forget about serving. So if I am making myself, so that's a put on, that's not reality. So in seriousness, can we truly love all and serve all? That was the question I received today on a WhatsApp message. And you see, I'll share with you my response to it. I said, I absolutely agree with what you have said. It's impossible to love all, serve all. And the question also contained that sentence, I fail to understand, how do you love all and serve all? So I had to share, how do I love all and serve all? You see, the only possibility right from the Satyuga to now, even Vedavyasa himself had to wait for that opportunity to enable love all, serve all. Even Maharishi Vashishtha had to wait for that opportunity. What was that opportunity? Parabrahman taking the form of Ishvara. So we have that singular coveted privilege. We have Ishvara in front of us. Parabrahman is Nirakar, so we can't form a relationship with him. And when we can't form a relationship with him, this love all, serve all is an impossibility. But when Parabrahman has come to us in the form of the most beautiful form of Sathya Sai Baba, we can form that deep relationship with him. And when we love him as Bhagwan Sathya Sai Baba, love all, serve all becomes not logically possible, but experientially possible. Logically, I may still not be able to prove how is it that by loving Swami, it will so happen that you will be established in love all the time. But it will happen. Kasturi had said, our only need is to love Swami more and more and more and more, limitlessly more. And that's our dharma, that's our goal of life. That's the path as well as goal. And we all are very privileged that Swami has chosen us. Now, this kind of a talk, I cannot share when people call me to a Christian community or to a Sikh community or to the uninitiated or to the ones who've not been called by Swami. But here I can openly tell you, Swami is the highest God. And we all know that. So then what is left before us is to love him more. With all ourselves, with our body, with our mind, with our intellect, and the fourth thing is with our reality. Our reality is lying hidden within us. Our eternal reality is lying hidden within us. We think that I am this gentleman who's sitting in front of you, and you are the students. Actually, the reality is Swami only. Swami has come to you in this form, and Swami has become your forms, so that we can talk to each other and we can grasp the reality, which is him only him. Now, Dr. Ashok told you all that yes, I'm a surgeon, I'm a cancer surgeon, I'm a very skilled surgeon, whatever. But this gentleman is in himself nothing. It's a shava. But in the presence of Swami, becomes Shiva. Efficiency comes in connection with God. Efficiency, beneficence, skills, everything comes when we are connected to God. We are all very, very privileged ones, blessed ones. Swami has called us. Swami has given us the opportunity to be his faculty, to be his students, and to me to have a spiritual relationship with him. I also once tried to physically be settling in Puttaparthi, in whatever role Swami gives me. But then, peculiar are his ways. He told me, are you already not in Puttaparthi? I had to accept it that I'm always in Puttaparthi. So I asking for a change. Sai Ram. So let us be obsessed, possessed by Swami, obsessed about him. Let that be our only seeking in life. Rest, everything will be added to us. You see, I would also share with you that our greatest strength is, most of us have a maudlin love for Swami's body and his messages also. Swami is our crush. It's his attraction. We can't help it. He's Krishna. That's our strength. The same strength is our weakness also. We are possessed by the need for his body. And then we start declaring him as past. That he was, and I used to do this, and I used to have interviews. I used to see him like that. He is not. He's beyond past, present, and future. He's eternal being. So let us hold on to our strength that we need him bodily, but let us get rid of this weakness that he is the body. He's only the body. He's the eternal reality of all of us. That way, whatever profession we're doing and wherever we are, we will be able to experience an ever-present bliss which we were seeking for millions of past lives. Our Parabrahman, who has become our Ishwar. Ishwar means beloved. Ishwar means Ishta, the beloved one. And you can't have two beloveds. You can have only one beloved. So that's why he says, if you give me a second place, it's like giving me no place. So you have to love me, singularly me, and I will tell you what love all, serve all means. Then you will be love embodied. You will be naturally loving, serving all. A flower doesn't give its fragrance to anyone or everyone. A flower is fragrance itself. It doesn't need to choose people or look at individuals and give them fragrance. So when we are in love with Swami, we become love embodied. And wherever we are only love. And be it a doctor, be it a surgeon, be it a cancer specialist, you are actually, my introduction is that you become that I am love embodied. And that's what I experience, and I'm putting it in words. To talk a little more about this strength and weakness, the mad need for his body, and requesting him, seeking him, praying to him to come back in the bodily form, and hoping that yes, he's going to come back. Hoping that he's going to come back means that we are already not having him with us. Isn't it? Indirectly, it means that we are not having him with us. That's why we're saying, please come back, Swami. That means you've gone. I can't ask him to come back because he never goes away from me. I can't live without him even for a second. So how can I ask him to come back? He's already there. So, to share with you my past, in the initial 4-5 years, I also developed the strength that I needed him. In every moment I needed him. I used to be in Puttaparthi every month near me. And people have started identifying me as a student, because I was always there. Although I was 35 years old and I was major in the army, but every little, casual leave or annual leave, parts of it when I used to be in Puttaparthi. I used to be posted in Chennai those days. And this need for Swami grew so intense. In 1996, I was on the 20th floor in the hostel accommodation which Tata Memorial Hospital had given me. And early morning at 4 o'clock or so, I was seeking his presence. So intense was the seeking, so intense was the need, that I almost felt that I would jump from the 20th floor window and kill myself if Swami doesn't appear. Because Swami had been telling me that, why do you need to come to Puttaparthi every month? Why don't you call me to yourself, to your place? And I said that I need you today. And Swami appeared bodily in front of me. What all would have happened to me is difficult to put in words. But to share with you that because every interview, every meeting has a beginning and an end. So he came bodily, so that became an interview. And now it had to end also. So I held his robe. I said, you can't go, Swami. And you see, Swami dematerialized, and as vapors or as an experience, he entered into me. And he says, hereafter, I'll always be with you. So that interview also ended as an inner view, and that inner view became a stable, eternal reality. And I live with him every moment. I told you I'll be sharing with you the experience of death. 23rd of December, 2020. On the 22nd, I had done a major surgery. 23rd morning, I went to see the gentleman. I removed a kidney cancer. I felt I was a little breathless. I was not my normal self. I was not my physically buoyant self. So I felt a little breathless. I ended the rounds, saw my patients, and reported to my COVID clinic. You know, the department which looks after the COVID patients. I said I'm feeling breathless, a little febrile, a little feverish. So they said, okay, we'll immediately investigate. Well, soon the investigation results came, and they said you have the severest form of COVID. Swami was with me, so I was very happy, blissful. I said, so be it, do whatever can be done. And so I was admitted in the ICU. Now I don't remember if it was in the middle of the night or what time was it, but I felt that I'm losing consciousness. And the last words I remember was that I'm losing consciousness. And the thought I remember was that I'm merging into the super consciousness. And then the thought comes that, was I not already in the super conscious state? Yes, I was super conscious already also, before that also, for the last 30 years. But I was also aware of the things around me. That there are chairs around me, there's light around me, there are people around me. Now I am losing this consciousness. Now, hereafter, I will not be able to see anything. I will not be able to see individuals. I will not be able to see forms. I will be my superconscious self, which is the formless self, which is the reality of all of us. And yes, very soon, maybe within a fraction of a second, I was unconscious. Or I was super conscious. Unconscious means I'd lost consciousness of all that was around me. Thereafter, I didn't have any relationships. I didn't have any bodies visible or known to me. That was my formless reality. And the doctors took over this body, must have. I was not aware of anything but myself. And for a certain period of time, be it a week or be it a little more, I was on support system. My kidneys, my liver, my lungs, they were all on support system. I was on a ventilator, I was on a dialysis, and there was no hope of my coming back into this body. And whereas as myself, I was not concerned that I get back into this body or not, because I was myself. After a week or so, I was back into this body and I was again. The worldly consciousness also came back and the super consciousness also stayed. So, never for a moment I suffered, never for a moment I experienced death, because death is actually an imagination. Death is a very scary imagination. It's not a reality. And I experienced it. Whereas medically, and as far as the rumors around in the institute went, I was for some time declared dead also. I had to be resuscitated. And the news went that I've died. But as far as I was concerned, I never felt even a pinch. Yes, there were pipes all over. There was a tube in my throat, and there were tubes in my arteries, in my veins, in my intestines. But because Swami was ever with me, and Swami is always with me, I never felt a pinch. And when I was discharged for a month or so, I was paralyzed. I had to be picked up to go to the washroom, seated on the seat. I had to be picked up to be in the wheelchair. But not for a moment I suffered. When Swami is with you, how can you suffer? That is what Swami is, in my experience. So I've shared with you my experiences of morality as well as immortality. Immortality really can't be talked about, it's an experience. Morality, yes, can be. It's sadhana. Morality is sadhana, and immortality is the siddhi. Vedas is sadhana, Vedanta is siddhi. You know, being an intellectual and living in an intellectual scientific community, I often challenge my colleagues, and had been challenging myself also, that let us test your intellect, your logical, analytical abilities. Try reading a paragraph from Vedanta, from Upanishads, and tell me what do you understand out of it. Read it in the language that you like, not in Sanskrit. Language that you like, be it in English, be it in Hindi, be it in French, whatever you are. Yes, Vedanta is not understandable. Vedanta's, the proof of Vedanta is that it will manifest from within you. You practice Vedas, that means you practice morality, and Vedanta will start emanating from inside you. You can't understand from a book. You can experience what is written in the book. First, you have to go through the procedure, which Swami puts it as Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, and he further makes it easily doable by us by saying that catch any one of them. Don't even have to try 5. Try any one of them. Hold on to either Satya, or to Dharma, or to Shanti, or to Prema, or to Ahimsa, and you will get all the rest. And you will get all the Vedas within you, and the Vedanta will become your experience, and I'll be always with you. It's been a pleasure talking to you, respected faculty, my very dear friends. I think we leave it to now questions if anybody has questions. Sai Ram. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sairam, the questions will be passed on to the teachers and they would be asking the questions because we are on this YouTube connection.
Very well.
Yes.
Sairam sir, this is a question from Sukesh. And Sukesh asks this question: morality is said to be subjective. How can we determine if an act is moral or immoral? Is there any reliable litmus test for that?
I would like to, every question can be worded in a million ways and every answer can be worded in a million ways. I would like to word it like this. In two ways, there lies the litmus test. First, I would want to make a statement from my own experiences that for me, morality means dharma in Hindi. And dharma for me has been my love for Swami. If I have a passionate, raving love for Swami, it will convert me into an embodiment of dharma. So I need to just become obsessed by my need for Swami. Swami in every which way, the form as well as the formlessness, as well as his words, every which way. So that is essentially dharma. And that is what is righteousness, and that is going to turn into whatever we do, we will be so obsessed by him that we'll not be able to do anything which is going to harm. Now to the young friends of mine who always think that harm is harming someone, I would say harm myself. When I harm someone, I harm myself first. So I'll not be able to harm myself, and so I'll not be able to harm anyone. So righteousness is that which enhances you, which evolves you, which gives you peace, which fills you up with love, and in no way makes you uncomfortable or lose your peace, or that way communicate that restlessness or your hurt feelings to someone. Because it's impossible that I am hurt, but I am trying not to hurt others. I have to be at peace to be sharing peace with others. That's the biggest catch, that we are always wanting word peace. We're wanting the world to be at peace. It's impossible. I can be at peace, and I'll experience that the world around me will start becoming peaceful. So righteousness, the litmus test, first is my love for Swami, and second is that my love for Swami manifesting as love. That is righteousness for me.
Thank you, sir. One more question is from Sai Kirti, and he asks this, that some people experience very less pain during their illness, while some others go through lot of pain during their illness. Though both of them are devotees and think of Bhagwan. And his question is, why does Swami make it easy for some and difficult for others?
I put it this way, that the scriptures tell us, Dukh daru sukh rog paya, ja sukh tam na hui. This is from Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Because I'm a Punjabi, so Swami, conveyed to me that I will be able to understand spirituality the best if I try and understand it in Punjabi, in Gurumukhi. So I hooked on to Sri Guru Granth Sahib. And these are the pearls which I live with. Dukh daru sukh rog paya, ja sukh tam na hui. It says when you experience suffering, it's only then that you develop thirst for happiness or peace. If you have never experienced suffering, if I had not experienced suffering to unbearable limits, I wouldn't have, in my first meeting, first vision of Swami, when I came for darshans, I wouldn't have asked for, Swami, if you're God, give me peace. Why did I say it? Because I must have indirectly surmised that I must have suffered unbearably so in my past 30 years that I came to that juncture and said that give me peace. So dukh is not to be shunned. Dukh also has to be accepted as a medicine of Swami. Swami is giving that dukkha so that we are prepared for that mad need for peace. So dukh daru, sukh rog paya. Sukh means if you're comfortable in life, we wouldn't be talking to each other. Swami wouldn't have called us. If Swami has called us, first there has been some sufferings so that we have become prepared. The sufferings have prepared us. Sukh, rog, sukh. If we are comfortable, we'll never talk about God. We'll never talk about spirituality. And ja sukh tam na hoi. That means when truly sukh descends upon us, when God comes to us in this form as Sathya Sai Baba has done, after that there will never be any suffering. So if I did not suffer for those many 3 months, now also there are a lot of pains and cramps. I do require some supports to carry my bag and park my car. I am still, in 3 months' time, I'm not yet normal, physically normal. But I, as myself, my spiritual reality, have never suffered. So it all depends upon, do you identify yourself with the body or with your reality? To experience Swami, it will be necessary requirement that we establish ourselves with our spiritual reality. Then alone we can go beyond suffering, we can go beyond life and death, we can go beyond disease, dis-ease. As a doctor, as a surgeon, as a cancer specialist, this is what I share with my patients, that if you really don't want to suffer, you have to establish yourselves with your spiritual reality, and if Sathya Sai Baba chooses you, it will become much easier.
Sir, the next two questions, one from Satyanarayana and one from Sai Subramaniam, both of them are related to the near-death experience that you spoke about. One question from Sai Subramaniam is that, sir, can you explain little bit more when you mean death is an imagination? In the same connection, brother Satyanarayana also asks, sir, you told that when you had that experience, you did not feel like coming back into your body when you lost your consciousness. Did you not feel that you need to come back to clear all your karmic debts?
Okay. You see, I like to put it this way, sir. Karmic debts is also a very big imagination. Actually, in reality, we are doing no karma. There is one Karta Purush. Swami alone is the doer. I am not a doctor. Swami is a doctor. You are not the students. Swami is the students. So then Swami is you, Swami is me. Who has karmic debts? It's just my imagination, my twisted interpretation of myself, that I identify myself with this gentleman. This gentleman is not me. I am the spiritual reality. We talk about spirituality, we talk about being spiritual, but we don't experience our spiritual self. Let us try and experience our spiritual self, who is love with Swami, Swami's spiritual self, not only his body. So when I am the Atma, then everything else becomes Paramatma. There is no life, there is no death in reality, and that has to be experienced, because till we experience that, we will continue to be tossed up and down by this word called karmic debts and that it must be because of my bad karmas that I am suffering. There are no karmas, there is no suffering. I am in bliss, you are in bliss. It is just the lack of awareness. The truth is Satya and Ananda, and Chitta is only lacking. Chitta means awareness. If we become aware by and through morality that I am immortal, the job is done. After that, there is no life, there is no death. After that. Till then, yes, life is a reality, death is also a reality.
Thank you, sir. The final question I would like to ask you, sir. During the current times, the world has been so much affected by the COVID pandemic. We find that millions of people have suffered because of the pandemic, COVID pandemic. People have died. Economies have got affected. Can you just tell us, using again Bhagwan's philosophy of love all, serve all, how is it possible for us to love this COVID pandemic, sir?
You see, sufferings have many innumerable names. Death has many innumerable names. In any which way it will come. Death, to this imagination that I am the body, has to come. And presently it has come in the name of COVID. And mine and your responsibility, in my view, is to stay established in our inner peace and inner happiness and disseminate and share that happiness. Sharing that happiness is not to be done with any effort. It will effortlessly happen. If I am in bliss and peace, even on a ventilator, I was manifesting bliss and peace because I am filled with Swami. And I'm not talking of only this gentleman. I'm talking of each one of us chosen ones. Our responsibility is singularly one, and that is to fill ourselves with that eternal reality which we know as Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba.
Thank you, sir. There are a few more questions which will take up later due to paucity of time. I request now Dr. Sundareshan, our director, will be proposing a vote of thanks.
Sairam to everybody. It's a great privilege and a blessing to hear the experiences by one of the topmost surgical oncologists, Brigadier Dr. Rajneesh Talwar. His odyssey with love began in the year 1992, and he related how every moment he was in tune with the infinite. His love for Swami is so overwhelming, and as he said, he wanted to become a surgical oncologist. Sincere prayers are always answered. He also mentioned how he prayed for the palpable presence of Swami in the hotel in Chennai. And Swami manifested himself in the hotel and blessed him. I had the opportunity to talk to him in the month of December. I wanted to invite him to be the chief guest for our Republic Day. When he rang up around 8 o'clock the night to invite him, I was surprised. I heard a very feeble voice saying, Sai Ram. I was for a moment surprised whether I rang up to the correct number. Then later on he said, I knew that I was speaking to Brigadier Dr. Rajneesh Talwar. This is the greatness of doctors. Any time, any moment, somebody rings up, they pick up the phone, are ready to help. You just recovered from Corona. He said, I was just discharged from ICU. And maybe it is Swami's ways of blessing him. That was the first time I spoke to him. And immediately after my conversation with him, I had beautiful photographs of Swami, blessing photograph of Swami, and immediately I sent this photograph to him. Maybe this is Swami's ways of blessing him. After listening to the great experiences of Brigadier Dr. Rajneesh Talwar, I should say that he is one of the rishis in the medical field. Having realized his oneness with the Lord of the universe, what greater good fortune one can ask for? Throughout his distinguished career, he has been relieving the severe pain of cancer patients. What a great blessing it is to be such instruments in the hands of the Lord. Words fail to express being associated with science for a very, very long time. I know how it is. I feel so thrilled when I see the creation all around. And human being is one of the greatest marvel of God's creation. The way it functions inside is amazing. There are trillions of cells. This is not the time to explain in great detail. That's why I said it's a rishi in the modern times. So I thank you on behalf of all the students and staff of the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. My heartfelt thanks to you for having consented, despite your busy schedule, to share your experiences with Bhagwan. We end the program with Arati. Sai Ram.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशि वदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल आरती अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।